with a first-round matchup against Trinity in the first round of the boys Quad A state tournament. I'm Chuck Durso, and I'll be bringing you the play-by-play of this afternoon's encounter as Uniontown, coming off the heels of their 8th WPI AL championship, now looking for their 5th ever state title. A big three-point win against Newcastle 1 week ago today, and now they are on a roll. And they meet an old foe, a team they've already played twice this year out of Section 2 Quad A. 2 big wins over Trinity, and they'll try to pull off the hat trick this afternoon. Uniontown hasn't played in a week, but Trinity, they haven't played in even much longer. They'll have to shake off some rust, and they'll have to go up against the best team in the state. You know the names by now: Terrence Vaughns, De'Aaron Jenkins, Chris Jacobs, all the rest of them. You hear them back here. They are ready, they are confident, and they are looking. They know they need 5 more wins for a state title. Should be a good one, and we are looking forward to it. You know, we especially look forward to doing these playoff games, because during the regular season, a lot of times we have teams where, you know, both teams are from this area, and so we gotta have to kind of play it down the middle, you know, Uniontown against Albert Gallatin or something like that. But we love doing the playoffs, because when we do the playoffs, we can root for the home team like these guys right here. There's your Raider fans, folks. Raider Nation, ready to rock and roll in Ringgold. It's the state playoffs, and we'll get underway on HSTV Sports right after this. And welcome back. Chuck Durso with you here at Ringgold High School in Carroll Township, Washington County, as the Red Raiders get ready to take on the Trinity Hillers in a first-round matchup of 2 WPI AL teams, in fact 2 Section 2 teams, battling in the first round of the playoffs. Taking a look at the starting lineups that are being introduced for Trinity. Number 22 is Justin Adley. Number 13 is Eric Podiakis. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Number 40 is John Weiss. Number 23 is Ian Miller. And number 34, boy, you talk about tough names to pronounce, Dusan Vokajevic. If they go up Podiakis to Vokajevic 4 or 5 times in this game, Eric, I'm walking out and leaving you. You do the announcing. I want Weiss and Adley handling the ball. Well, we know the Red Raiders' names. They need no introduction. But by golly, we're going to give them one anyway, because you are about to see the WPI AL champions. And what a wonderful, wonderful afternoon that was at the Blumbo Center 1 week ago this afternoon. It was close, and it was in doubt to the final seconds. But the big 3-point win over Newcastle, and Uniontown, the Whippeal champs, now hoping to add a state title to that. David Winfrey. Carl Farrell is your starting center. De'Aaron Jenkins. What a defensive effort from De'Aaron in that championship game. Number 24, Terrence Vaughns. He's been the leading scorer in all 3 Uniontown postseason games. Leading scorer this season as well. Number 32, Chris Jacobs. What a big pair of free throws he hit to put Uniontown back in the lead in the final seconds against Newcastle. Joe Dunn is the head coach, by the way, for Trinity, and of course, Dave Shuck leading the way for the Red Raiders. Rich Bierbauer, Rob Kesmarski, the assistant coaches. Raider Nation already chanting and yelling and screaming. 5 to go. The drive for 5 victories, and also the drive for 5 state titles. That's what it's all about. If Uniontown can win the state championship, they would be able to add it to the state titles that they won in 1925, 1962, 1964, and most recently in 1981. Can they get their 5th title? Well, we'll have to wait 2 weeks to find that out. The state championship game will be played 2 weeks from today. It's Wednesday, Saturday rotation for the Raiders. That's when they'll play their games. So the second round game would be this coming Wednesday. Got to win this one, though. You can't take anything for granted. Yeah, they had their way with Trinity this year, but still, you got to take care of business. And the best thing to do is get out to a quick start and put this one away early. Carl Farrell will jump center with Justin Adley. Farrell wins the tap. Raiders get the first possession, and they quickly throw it away. As Vaughn skips it over to Jenkins and couldn't handle the pass, out of bounds, so Trinity gets their first possession. Well, Eric, I thought I could do this one sitting down, but that's not going to work, so I'm going to have to stand up here in the crow's nest. Right. Well, I get the same view that you get at home. I'm right next to Eric running the camera here, and we're up high at the Ringgold Gymnasium. Raiders in the man-to-man. Trinity will be patient. Keep the ball as long as possible each possession and shorten the game. Would look to be their only choice and near turnover, but a smart play by Vukojevic. Bangs it out of bounds off the Raiders, and Trinity will inbounds. We're 35 seconds into this one. Still looking for first points of the game. There's that hounding defense by Uniontown. Now we get the long three, up and in by Adley. Justin Adley makes that. Now back the other way, Carl Farrell with the roll. So it's 3-2. Now Uniontown will put on the pressure. A little bump from Winfrey, nothing called. Well, Trinity with a good start, getting that three-pointer. Now they're getting a taste of that Uniontown defense. Nothing they don't already know about, though, having to play them twice this year. And there's the steal by Jenkins. Winfrey draws the foul. One thing about the state tournament, it's almost as if you're replaying the WPIAL tournament. 16 teams out here in the West. It's a 32-team tournament. And out of those 16 teams, 10 of them are from the WPIAL at the Quad A level. Now in the lower classifications, it's spread out more among the entire western part of the state. But at Quad A, boys and girls, 10 of your 16 are WPIAL teams, so you're going to get a lot of rematches as the tournament goes on, or at least the potential exists for a lot of rematches. Winfrey gets the second of two, and we are tied at 3. Central Catholic Altoona. The winner of that game gets the winner of this one, so the possibility Uniontown could play Central Catholic for a 4th time this season. Adley misses that three, and Vaughns with the rebound. Now Jacobs tries to hit Jenkins behind him. And 2 turnovers early for the Raiders. Again, Uniontown hasn't played in a week off, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Keep in mind they had 2 weeks off from the end of the regular season to their first WPIAL playoff game. So this layoff less than that, and Trinity has gone even longer because they haven't played since they lost to Newcastle in the first round of the WPIAL tournament, which was nearly 2 weeks ago. Now the short jumper, no good. The follow also no good. Tapped up. Vukojevic just couldn't buy a bucket there. Now the Raiders with a 2-on-1. Jacobs, Raider lead. First lead of the afternoon for the Raiders. Now Trinity coming right at that Uniontown press. Baseline jumper is up and in by Apodiakis. Tied at 5 with 5:45 remaining here in the first period. Now Dier Jenkins, 3 no good. Jacobs keeps it alive, but out of bounds off of Christian. Kicked by Jacobs, and Trinity will inbounds. This is the second game of a doubleheader. Mount Lebanon, a team Uniontown defeated in the semifinals of the WPIAL tournament, winning their first round game against Oliver out of the City League, and they won big. Blowout win for Mount Lebanon, so they advance. They're over in the other half of the Western bracket, so Uniontown would not play them until the semifinals, or the Western finals, if you will. In other words, they would have to beat Newcastle. There's a foul on Jacobs, first foul of the afternoon on either side. Newcastle, of course, the big gun over on the other side, and the chance you could get the rematch of the WPIAL finals. It would happen in the state semifinals if Uniontown and Newcastle meet again. And now Trinity throws it away. So their first turnover is that pass misfiring. Adley throws it into the scoring table, and back come the Raiders again. We are tied at 5. Quickly to Vaughns in the corner, and they'll work it back up top. Winfrey will set up the Raider offense. Skips it over to Terrence Vaughns. That three is short. Carl Farrell tips it up, still trying to keep it alive. Now we'll get a scramble, jump ball, and that will go to Trinity. 5:01 left in the first period, 5 aside. Trinity scored the first 3 of the game. Uniontown answered with 5 in a row. And Trinity retying the game at 5, and that's where we stand right now. Nice to have you here on Herald Standard Television Sports. We will follow the Red Raiders throughout the western half of the state playoffs. Can't bring you the finals in Hershey, but we can bring you the other 4 games as long as the Raiders keep winning. That long jumper is no good by Apodiakis. Jacobs gets the rebound, and he's fouled in the backcourt, trying to start that Raider break. Foul is going to be called on Vukojevic. That's the first Trinity foul. Check that second foul. Winfrey, of course, had a couple of free throws earlier in the game. So second team foul on Trinity. First on Vukojevic. Now Dier from the corner, and 3 straight misses on the 3-pointers by Uniontown. Now the long outlet pass, and the jumper up and in by Apodiakis. And Trinity back in the lead now at 7-5. So a good start for the Hillers. That's all they could ask for in that first quarter. Just try to stay in this game as long as they can. Of course, we've talked time and time again this year about how the second quarter has been the Raider quarter. Now we get a 3-second violation called on the Raiders. So another Uniontown turnover, their third. Started to mention the second period has been where Uniontown has really put teams away time and time again this season. Teams have managed to stay with Uniontown maybe for a period or so, and then they get those runs going, and it starts with their defense. There was a near steal. Instead, Trinity gets it back, and the score by Vukojevic, who may have gotten away with a foul as Farrell was heading up court. Looked like a little bit of a hold there, but at any rate, Trinity now with their biggest lead at 4. Farrell has to get out of the lane before he gets another 3-second. Trinity back in the zone. Jacobs kicks it over to Vaughns. No good from the corner, but Jacobs is there for the follow, in and out. Still battling for it, and finally pulled down by Miller. Well, the Trinity fans overwhelmingly outnumbered by the Red Raider faithful. And they're over on the far side. Not a whole lot of them, but they're making some early noise as they like the start for their Hillers. Now we get the first substitution of the afternoon, and Brandon Duncan will come into the game. And Jenkins will take a seat. 9-5 Trinity. And again, it bears mentioning as it's into Vukojevic, baseline jumper. 4 in a row for Dusan, and Trinity up by 6. It bears mentioning that last year's WPIAL champions in boys quad A were upset in the first round of the state tournament. Duncan misses the 3, and Trinity will get possession. Now Kevin Boo McLee will come in for Carl Farrell. McKeesport was the opponent for Char Valley after that big win over Uniontown in last year's WPIAL finals. And McKeesport jumped up and bit Char Valley with the big upset in the first round of the state tournament. So there is a precedent, and Uniontown can ill afford to take anything for granted. Now the long 3, and that's no good. And that ball was not deflected. As the 3 was missed by Apodiakis, the official gave a little deflection signal there. I thought it might have been touched by a Red Raider, but it was not. Now Vaughns kicks it into McLee, and he draws contact. Kevin will get a pair from the line. Checking into the game. Well, maybe not just yet. Paul McCune stood up as if he was going to go in, and now he does come to the scoring table. The foul was called on Vukojevic, and that's his second. McLee's first point of the game. Kevin McLee, of course, no secret, heading to West Virginia University, where he's looking forward to a Division I football career. What a great football player he's been. All-state the past couple of years for the Red Raiders. Misses that free throw. Ball comes right back to him. That shot is up and no good, though. Now we'll get a scramble, and the Raiders come away with it. Duncan to Vaughns for the score. First two of the night for Terrence Vaughns, and it's 11-8. And now pressure by Duncan. Near steal. McLee. And Vaughns comes down with it, and he is fouled. And the ball is slammed down. And McLee is not pleased at all. And he was looking at McCune. And a quick timeout is called. The foul was called on Adley. Head coach Joe Dunn is going to yell at the officials. Well, they called a technical foul. That's what he's yelling about, for slamming that ball down. You know, I have to confess, I was looking the other way. Terrence Vaughns, after the foul, stayed down on the court for a second. He's fine, but I was checking him out to see if he was hurt or not. And all of a sudden, I heard the ball get slammed down. I thought it was McCune who slammed it down, but I'm not sure because I was looking the other way. So anyway, we get the technical foul. And Vaughns converts, and he'll get another. I thought a timeout was signaled there, and the official was signaling up the tee there, not the timeout. So Terrence hits them both. 5 straight points for the Raiders. They've scored 5 in a row twice in this game, but their 10 points still leaves them 1 short of Trinity with 2:10 remaining here in the first period, but now Uniontown gets the inbounds. Again, the foul, by the way, was on Adley. And now we are going to get the timeout. Well, Dunn did want a timeout. I thought so. He wants a 30-second timeout. All kinds of confusion. I need Jess Hudson up here to help me out. He'd know what was going on. And we, of course, want to wish Jess Hudson the best of luck. Congratulations to the coach, Jess Hudson, as Raider Nation getting their timeout chant on. Let's finish the point, though. Jess Hudson, head coach of the WPIAL Girls Class A champions. The Clairton Lady Bears win the title. And there's a lot of folks that think they could win the state title in Girls Class A. And we will not have Jess with us throughout the playoffs as long as Clairton's alive, because Girls Class A also plays on a Wednesday-Saturday rotation. So he'll have games the same nights as Uniontown, or afternoons. And so we're not going to have Jess joining us for the playoffs unless Clairton gets upset, and we don't want that to happen. So no offense, Jess, but we hope we don't see you, because we hope you win it all. Now an offensive foul will be called away from the ball. They're going to call McLee. That will be his first and the second team foul on the Raiders. So Uniontown with a chance to take the lead there. Instead, Trinity will inbounds with 1:58 remaining in the first period, and Trinity up 11-10. Some contact there by Duncan, but nothing called. Adley now almost drags the pivot foot. And now we're going to get a push. This will be called on either Duncan or McLee. It'll be Kevin again. So 2 quick fouls on Kevin. He'll take a seat as Carl Farrell checks back in. D.R. Jenkins will come back in as well. David Winfrey will get a rest. And that means that Terrence Vaughns will move to the point. Quickly to the baseline. Pump fake shot, no good. Weiss's attempt was blocked. Back come the Raiders again, looking to regain the lead. Chris Jacobs bounces it over to Farrell. Turnaround, fade away. Shot doesn't go. And the rebound is pulled down. And a quick timeout, and I'm not sure why he called it, by Paul McCune. The crowd wanted to travel, but that was not a travel because he dribbled the ball as he fell. So the right call by the official. That was no travel, and he could have tried to pass it to somebody, but instead called the quick timeout, and so Trinity has had to use up both of their 30-second timeouts here in the first period. Again, the winner of Altoona Central Catholic will play the winner of this game in the second round. If it is Central Catholic, it would be the 4th meeting of the year between Uniontown and Central Catholic if they meet in the second round. They played 2 non-section games this season and then met in the quarterfinals of the WPIAL tournament. Uniontown has won all 3. First things first, though. Have to take care of Trinity. Trouble inbouncing. Finally get it into Adley. And he'll bring it across. Now he's going to try to go right through the Raider defense. Loses the ball momentarily. Deflected out of bounds by, I believe, Vaughns. Trinity will inbounds under the hoop. 11-10. Hillers with the lead. And now the fake of the three, the take of the three. Doesn't go, but a quick rebound to McCune. He tries to pass inside. Out of bounds. Off of Trinity. Apodiakis missed the three. McCune trying to make an interior pass, and those are tough to do against these quick Red Raiders. If you have an opportunity to shoot it, you're probably best off just putting it up. Those passes are not going to get through those quick hands for the Raiders. Now D.R. Jenkins, and that three no good. Uniontown still hasn't made a three. Raiders will inbounds. Into the game now, Mark Kennison. Weiss will take a seat. 1 minute, 1 second remaining first period. 11-10, Uniontown trailing by one. Vaughns misses the three, and now way ahead of the field is Apodiakis. But Jenkins gets back quickly, and the shot is missed. Couldn't handle the pass, and now Vaughns hits Farrell ahead of the field for the score. 4 points for Carl Farrell, and the Raiders back in the lead at 12-11. Their second lead of the afternoon, and our third lead change in the quarter. Now the pressure defense. Dier steals it. Here's Jacobs. He has Farrell ahead of the field. Nice defense, though, by Kennison. Disrupted it, and then the save by Trinity. Give Mark Kennison some credit there, disrupting the Farrell layup. 12-11 Uniontown. 15 seconds now. Trinity can hold for one. And the chance to lead at the end of one period if they could hit a shot here. Here's Adley. He's going to let it fly from way downtown, in and out, but the follow is up and in by Kennison, and there's the buzzer. So the first 2 points of the afternoon off the bench for Trinity gives them a lead after one period. And if you're Trinity and head coach Joe Dunn, you could not ask for more. After one quarter, the score is Trinity 13, Uniontown 12. Back with the second quarter right after this.
Who provides the best service supply for your sick or troubled copier? That answer is a slam dunk. Just call the office heroes at Best Copier Company at 439-BEST. That's 439-2378. Best Copier Company Incorporated, an affiliate of Brothers Laser Service.
Selecting an attorney can be difficult. Did you know that there are almost 1 million attorneys in the United States? Did you know that a national board measures their experience and expertise? And that fewer than 2,200 achieve certification? Did you know that only 30 attorneys in the country were certified in both civil and criminal law? Did you know that 2 of them live and work right here? Meet James and Samuel Davis, the hometown professionals at Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back. Chuck Durso with you here on Herald Standard Television Sports, getting ready to start the second period of this first round PIAA state playoff game. Trinity surprisingly leading Uniontown 13-12 after one quarter. But now this is Raider time. The second quarter has been their quarter all season long. And let's see what they can do. Trinity, an amazing job so far just to stay in this game. It would be an upset of monumental proportions if Trinity were to pull something off here this afternoon. We'll see what they can do here in the second quarter. Uniontown did not make a three-pointer in that first quarter, and again continuing to struggle from outside. That was actually a short jumper by Jenkins, but it missed. Uniontown's points have all come basically in the transition and from the free throw line. They have not been able to score out of their set offense, and there's a turnover by Trinity as Adler throws it away. So the Raiders will come back down once again with a chance to take the lead. 2 ties, 3 lead changes in that first period. Now Brandon Duncan, 3 in the corner. And there's your first trifecta of the afternoon. And the Raiders back in the lead as Brandon Duncan's getting his 3 on from the corner. 15-13 Red Raiders. And now Uniontown will crank up that pressure. McLeod harassing McCune. And now it's Adler being checked by D.R. Jenkins. And they turn it up. There's just no room, and now a foul will be called on Winfrey. little bit of a push, but not much of one. And Raider Nation disapproves. Now back to action. It's 15-13 Raiders. Now Winfrey again. All over Vukojevic. And now the steal by Farrell. Winfrey gets it down to Dier. Can't get the floater to go. But look at Winfrey come out of it. Look out, Brandon Duncan. Almost stolen. Now Winfrey into McClee. Tried to hit Farrell, but stepped on the baseline. So another Raider turnover. Terrence Vaughns will now check back in quickly before the inbounds. Chris Jacobs will come in as well. Duncan and McClee will take a seat, so the Raiders back out there with their starting five of Winfrey, Vaughns, Jenkins, Jacobs, and Farrell. We got Vukojevic. Shane Elzer, by the way, number 24. That was him just now with the ball. He's in the game for the first time for Trinity. We'll get you the whole Trinity five on the floor in a moment. That shot is no good, and I think we're going to get a foul over the top. Yep, this will be called on Vukojevic, and that's his third. So he'll have to take a sit down in foul trouble. And we won't give you those Trinity five because they're about to change. You got a Podiakis out there, along with Kennison, Miller, Adley, and Weiss. So it's the starting five with the exception of Kennison in there for Vukojevic, who now is on the bench and probably will stay there the rest of the half with 3 fouls. 5:56 left in the first half. Raiders by 2. Now Farrell free in the paint. We like that phrase at HSTV. Raiders with their biggest lead of the afternoon at 4. They've outscored Trinity 5-0 so far here in the second period. And now they're going to call Winfrey again on the foul as Podiakis was driving. That's 2 on David. It is the 5th team foul, and for some reason they're lining up at the foul line. I don't think so. Uniontown's in the bonus, but not Trinity. That's only the 5th team foul. So the Hillers will inbounds. And a steal. Winfrey. Oh, he has Vaughns ahead of the field. Can Terrence run it down? No, couldn't quite do it. Bounce pass might have been a better choice right there. Terrence had a step. 5:20 on the turning clock. Raiders by 4. Another near steal. Now Adler. Oh, behind the back. That's not going to work. Vaughns. David Winfrey. Score. Podiakis tried to break it up, but David has his first field goal of the afternoon. He has 3 points, and now the Raiders on a 7-point run. And they lead by 6. Now nicely done inside, and the foul will be called, and going to the line will be Ian Miller. Nice dish by Podiakis. Foul is called on Farrell, and that is his first. By the way, now we have a slight lull as Miller gets ready to shoot a pair from the line. Now would be the time to inform the HSTV faithful that the pictures you're seeing in the second quarter being brought to you courtesy of Dan the Man Wheeler. Tag teaming with Eric Zakovic on the camera work here this afternoon. One out of 2, and it's 19-14. Those were the first free throws by Trinity in this game. Nice kick out from Farrell to Terrence Vaughns. 1, 2, 3. His first tray, second for the Red Raiders. Terrence now has 7. And it's 22-14, the Raiders' biggest lead at 8. And we'll get another foul called. And this one will be called on Terrence Vaughns, and that will put Trinity into the bonus. It's the 7th team foul on the Raiders, first on Vaughns. Apodiakis will go to the line and shoot one in the bonus. Or hopefully just shoot one. 22-14 with 4:20 left here in the first half. Shot is up and in, so Apodiakis does get the bonus. He now has 5 points, leading scorer for the Hillers. Makes them both. And the Raiders come right back down. And Vaughns fakes it, takes it, makes it. 9 for Vaughns, and the Raiders back up by 8. McLee will check in on the next dead ball for the Raiders. And a near steal, but Terrence will be called for the foul. And now the fouls are starting to pile up for the Raiders. Very few called in the first quarter, but now Winfrey, Vaughns, McLee, all with 2. And here comes Kevin McLee into the game for Farrell. And Vukojevic comes back in for Trinity with 3 fouls. So Joe Dunn rolls the dice a little bit as McCune will take a seat. Take the chance that Vukojevic does not draw that 4th personal. John Weiss now with the 1-and-1, misses. Battle for the loose ball, will get the jump ball called, and it goes to Trinity. So Trinity will inbounds with 3:59 remaining. Your officials, by the way, this afternoon are Dan Gambridge, Denny Hanna, and Jack Zillis. The men in stripes. Calling the shots out there for this afternoon's PIAA first round game. And now Weiss, turnaround off the side of the backboard, comes right back to him. Bit of a break there for the Hillers. Weiss's first field goal. First 2 points, actually. And it's a 6-point game, 24-18. Now Jenkins. That 3 no good. Jacobs keeps it alive, but the ball hit the baseline. And now Jenkins will be called for a technical foul for slamming the ball down. And Dier says, I was just trying to save it. And you know what? I think he was just trying to save it. You know, I understand what's going on there. You called the technical when the Hiller player slammed the ball. And so you're trying to even it up here. But there's a difference between slamming it when you're angry and, I mean, come on. Uniontown's up by 6. Dier wasn't angry there. He was... because the ball landed right on the baseline. He can't just assume that it's out of bounds. He's trying to make a play. I don't know if I like that call. I understand the thinking behind it. Trying to be fair both ways as Apodiakis makes both of his free throws. So now suddenly it's 24-20. Uniontown had run the lead up to 8, but Trinity hanging in there. And both teams have gotten benefit of a couple of points off of technical fouls. Now Adler brings it across. He'll skip it over to Apodiakis. Some contact, nothing called. That would have been the 3rd on Winfrey. Now the long 3 is no good by Adler. Rebound to Brandon Duncan, and back come the Raiders with the 4-point lead. Vaughns looks inside to Jacobs, swings it back out to Winfrey instead. Now he gets it into Chris Jacobs. Shot doesn't go, but the foul will be called. Nice ball movement there by the Raiders as Terrence couldn't kick it into Jacobs on the blocks the first time, got it into him the second time, and Christian up strong with the quick shot. Almost a 3-point opportunity. The foul is called on Miller, and that is his first. It is the 7th team foul on Trinity, but it's a shooting foul, so this is a 2-shot opportunity for Jacobs. His first 2 of the afternoon. That's right, it's a day game. Still not used to those. And he makes it. Carl Farrell is going to check in for Jacobs if he makes this second free throw. Uniontown is 5 out of 6 in the early going from the line. Trinity is 5 out of 7. So not much to choose from there. Here in the first half, which has 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Jacobs gets them both. He now has 4 points, and he'll have a sit down while Farrell checks back in. Farrell, Duncan, Winfrey, Vaughns, McLee. Your 5 on the floor for the Raiders, who basically go with a 7-man rotation. 2 of their starters right now, Jenkins and Jacobs, are getting a rest on the bench. Now Uniontown trying a little half-court trap pressure. And a near steal by Winfrey. And there is the steal by Vaughns. He'll get it ahead to Duncan. Winfrey in the corner, and he'll slow it down, wait for his mates. Duncan near walk. Now Winfrey inside wide open. McLee was too open. Second opportunity, and he draws contact. I think Kevin was surprised to find himself that wide open on the blocks. That doesn't usually happen, and he rushed the shot. He had a lot of time there to turn and just lay it in nice and easy, but you don't expect to have that much time. That may have thrown off his timing. Foul is called on John Weiss, and that's his first. McLee will get a pair from the line, where he is now 1 for 3 after that miss. In fact, when I said Uniontown was 5 of 6 earlier, they actually had missed 2 free throws, so now they've missed 3. They're 6 of 9 as a team from the line here in the first half. 2:35 left, Raiders by 6. Kevin gets the crawl. He has 2 points. 27-20 Uniontown. First round action in the PIAA tournament. Third time these two teams have met. Uniontown with 2 big wins in the regular season against their Section 2 opponents, and there's a steal by the Raiders. Create offense off of defense, but Farrell lost the ball. And now who's this one going to be called on? Well, they're walking back down the other way. So apparently it's going to be called on McLee, and that's his 3rd. Well, there was an opportunity for the Raiders to add to the lead in the transition, and that's the 2nd time that Farrell has been unable to convert the layup there on the break. Got to give Trinity some credit. They're disrupting it. It's not as if he's missing wide open layups. Trinity getting back quickly and disrupting those shots. It's a double bonus situation because Uniontown has already committed 10 fouls as a team, so Vukojevic had 2 free throws there, and he makes the first. Jacobs now checks back in. McLee will sit down with 3 fouls. 2 in a row for Dusan Vukojevic. Mark Kennison now back in. Miller will take a seat. 27-22. I'll tell you what, Trinity, they're hanging around. Led by 1 after 1 quarter and still only down by 5 as the ball is kicked by Vukojevic. Now Uniontown will inbound. Oh, near steal. Now Vaughn's runner off the window. 11 first half points for Terrence Vaughns to lead the way for the Raiders, and they're back up by 7. Now Trinity again, they will be deliberate. 1:49 left. Well, they want to be deliberate but careful. Another Hiller turnover as they throw it away, and back come the Raiders. And a bucket here would give Uniontown their largest lead of the afternoon, and Terrence thought about it. Instead, they'll swing it back around. Farrell, quick turnaround, off the back of the rim. Now the ball comes out, someone's got to run it down. And it'll be Trinity. And Podiakis misses, the follow also no good. And that shot is up no good by Vukojevic. And now back come the Raiders the other way. And Winfrey will slow things down and get it under control with 1:19 left. And now Vaughns is fouled, and he'll go to the line as the foul will be called on Podiakis reaching around the back. So Vaughns will get a 1-and-1. This is the 9th team foul by Trinity, so they're still in the 1-and-1 situation. Miller comes back in now as Coach Dunn is substituting freely for the Hillers. Vukojevic will take a seat. Vaughns making both of his free throws so far here in the first half. And he'll get the bonus here. Those 2 huge free throws at the end of that Newcastle game. You talk about money on the line. That's who you want there down the stretch. Chris Jacobs made the 2 to put Uniontown in the lead, and Terrence made the final 2 to set the final margin. He gets both here, and Uniontown does have their largest lead of the afternoon at 9. And a steal. Duncan deflects it. Winfrey ahead of the field. Somebody call the authorities. Them young men got larceny in their hearts with that defense, because they're making some steals out there. It's an 11-point game. And now inside for the score is Miller, his first field goal. Right back on the Raiders. Duncan kicks it out to Terrence Vaughns, getting his 3 on from the top of the circle. 16 first half points for Terrence Vaughns, and the Raiders lead it by a dirty dozen. Final minute, actual final half minute, 29 seconds, another near steal as Jacobs got his paws on it. Now Adler on the drive, out of control, and Vaughns gets the rebound. Plenty of time. Here's Jacobs, Winfrey, score! The running Raiders are running away from the Hillers. And another near steal by Brandon Duncan. Stand up and cheer, Raider Nation, because they're putting an effort out there for you. That's what I'm talking about. Final shot now for Trinity if they can get one off. They can't. 3 seconds. Vaughns with time. Count it. And there's what I'm talking about when I say that the second quarter is Raider time. 28-11. The Raiders outscore Trinity in that period. And at the half, your score, Uniontown 40, Trinity 24. Back with our halftime program right after this.
Injured in an auto accident? The hometown team at Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law has been helping local people recover from their injuries since 1976. And there's no fee unless you recover. Davis & Davis, a team of professionals working for you.
Who provides the best service supply for your sick or troubled copier? That answer is a slam dunk. Just call the office heroes at Best Copier Company at 439-BEST. That's 439-2378. Best Copier Company Incorporated, an affiliate of Brothers Laser Service.
Welcome back at the half. A late second quarter run for the Uniontown Red Raiders as they open up a big margin over Trinity. Back with the third quarter in a few moments. But first, we have Robert Chaney, assistant sports editor of the Uniontown Herald Standard, and our new position of halftime commentator now here during the playoffs. First of all, talk a little bit about this game real quick. When's Uniontown going to start doing this in the first quarter?
Yeah, another slow start for them. Seems like they have. But Trinity was playing pretty well. And Uniontown, again, gets in a little bit of foul trouble, too, but then it doesn't seem to bother him. I know Shuck went to the 1-3-1 a little bit. When he gets in foul trouble, he tends to go to the 1-3-1, and they did a good job with that. But like Joe Dunn said, the coach for Trinity, he says, the thing about Uniontown is you got to stop those 20-point plays, you know, in reference to their big runs. And at the beginning of the second quarter, 10-1 run. To close the half in like a 2-minute span, a 13-2 run. Those last two plays are typical Uniontown. A ball tips up in the air, someone throws a pass, a quick pass, they score, layup, they come down, another scramble, pass goes down, another, Jacob shovels the ball to Terrence, he scores at the buzzer. I mean, they just score so quickly, it's just hard to contain them. Because Trinity played a good first half, really, and they're down 16.
And, of course, no surprise for Trinity. They knew what to expect coming into this game. This is their third matchup against the Uniontown Red Raiders. And let's talk about that for a second. The state tournament at the Quad A level, now it's different at the lower classifications, but at the Quad A level, you get 16 teams in the West, 10 of them from the WPIAL. It's almost like you're replaying the WPIAL tournament.
Right.
It's like the state basketball's biggest mulligan here. It's a do-over for all these teams to get a second shot at Uniontown. From a fan standpoint, I don't know, my view is we've seen these games. I'd like to see Uniontown play some different teams. Who decides who those 9 and 10 seeds are from the WPIAL? Is that a WPIAL decision or a state decision?
That's a WPIAL decision. The PIA will decide that they decided because of enrollments or whatever, or how many schools there are, that WPIAL deserves 10 teams in there. And the WPIAL determines how to take those 10. Now, obviously, if you get to the corners, that's the 8. That's always been easy. But the other 2, that's the debate. People wonder how you should do that. Should you play them off? Should you do this? Should you do that? You know, Trinity gets in, and then Trinity's not a bad team, and even their coach saying he thought he should have been seated higher, so he's not taking any blame for backing in. But on the other hand, Laurel Highlands isn't here. Laurel Highlands beat Trinity twice. Laurel Highlands was second in the section. Trinity was third. Is that justifiable? You know, I don't really think so.
How cool would it be to see Laurel Highlands Uniontown in the first round? They could play that one up at Mellon Arena and probably sell it out. I mean, a lot more money could be made if you want to talk about that. But certainly, and there's other teams probably more deserving than Laurel Highlands. What are some other alternatives? They say the 2 teams that lose to the finalists get to go. What else could they do? They could have a losers consolation playoffs maybe, or my view is you take the 2 highest seeded teams that lost in the first round, for instance, Char Valley. Give them a second chance.
Right. The thing about that is then you're putting all the weight on WPIAL seeds even more. Then, you know, there's no perfect way to do it. The best way to do it is just play them off. There's 8 teams that aren't going to make the second round. And if you can just play them off, there's the ball if you want to take a shot.
I was going to make a play on it, yeah.
But, I mean, that's the best way. You play those 8 off. You go, you know, it's right when you do the playoffs, like you know, when they get their quarters down, do the same thing with the 8 that are left, and you get the final 2. You don't have to play that last round because you'll get the final 2. The 8 losers play, and just you can take seedings to seed them and then have them play.
The WPIAL's response to that is it's too hard to find officials and sites for games, but as you just said, it would be 5 more games, basically 3 more sites.
More money, too.
Ka-ching, you think that would convince them if nothing else. Well, anyway, we got what we got, which is a bunch of rematches perhaps as we look ahead. Now, Uniontown still has to take care of business here, but we already know, we just got word, Central Catholic is into the second round, a buzzer beater. They won at the buzzer over Altoona. So for the 4th time, if Uniontown takes care of business here, we get the Vikings again.
That's right. And, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing or not for Uniontown. I mean, have beat them 3 times, but they've all been, the last 2 have been fairly competitive. And, you know, you keep playing these teams over and over. One of these times, it's like, you know, finding an acorn, you know, a blind squirrel finding an acorn. They're going to be beating one of these times if they keep playing them. So I don't necessarily like that either. Here's the same game again, like you said. You're going to, and then, you know, they could play the WPL all the way out because Kiski's in their bracket, and Newcastle might get out too. They could get to the state title game without playing anything but WPIAL teams.
And if you look at some of the other strong teams out of the West, out of the WPIAL, I'm not sure who they would be. State College had an impressive record, but I don't know who they've played. And a couple of Erie teams that we don't know a whole lot about other than Uniontown, I think, has already beaten one of them.
Right, they beat one early in the year. I think it was McDowell. Yeah. I forget. But, yeah, you know, but going back to your point, though, I still think, you know, to play a team like this, Trinity, I don't know, you just need to have another way. I don't see why they couldn't play him off. I think that would be great. I mean, I think then like teams like Laurel Highlands have a second breath. And I don't think it'll be that hard to find referees for all these games. There's a lot of referees out there. I remember talking to one saying he'd do a game if he could, you know, but I guess they pick him. I don't know.
Well, no offense to Joe Dunn. He's saying what he has to say for his team, but they're not one of the 10 best teams in the WPIAL in my estimation.
That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, and we need to get the best teams in. So hopefully they'll find a better way to do it for next year. But for this year, this is what we got, and Uniontown's not complaining. They are 16 minutes away from the Sweet 16 and a berth in the second round against Central Catholic. Our thanks to Rob Berciani for joining us at the half. Back with the third quarter in just a few moments here on Herald Standard Television Sports.
You don't have to drive to Pittsburgh to get quality legal services. The hometown team of Davis & Davis will even come to your home to help with your case. You can count on Davis & Davis, a team of professionals working for you.
Who provides the best service supply for your sick or troubled copier? That answer is a slam dunk. Just call the Office Heroes at Best Copier Company at 439-BEST. That's 439-2378. Best Copier Company Incorporated, an affiliate of Brothers Laser Service.
Welcome back. Getting ready to start the third quarter. Again, our thanks to Rob Berciani from the Herald Standard for joining us at the half. Interesting comments from Rob, and I'm in total agreement with him. They got to find a new way to do this. I know Raider fans just want to win. They're thrilled to play Trinity, but from a basketball fan standpoint, you can get better matchups in the first round, I would think. Of course, the flip side of that is if a team like Trinity can pull off the major upset, what a great story that is. And they came out strong, but in the second quarter, it was all Raiders. And Winfrey will go to the line to start things off here in the third period as he draws a quick foul off of the penetration. Weiss will be called for his second foul of the afternoon. Trinity led it by a point after one period at 13-12, but the Raiders outscoring Trinity 28-11 in that second quarter, and they lead by 16 That late layup giving them the 16 by Vaughns, giving them the 16-point lead, which was their largest of the game. Trying to push it up even higher right here, but Winfrey missed the first and missed the second. He's 1 for 4 from the line. (40-24) Uniontown. A little bit of foul trouble for the Raiders in that second quarter as well, so you got to look out for that. Now the long three, and that was no good by Vukojevic, and now out of bounds. Farrell touched it last. Trinity ball. Well, we know who Uniontown will play in the second round if they hang on to this lead. It will be Central Catholic, and there's a steal by the Raiders. Winfrey kicks it over to Dier Jenkins. Couldn't handle the bounce pass. My bad, says Dier. Will come back down the other way. For the fourth time, Uniontown and Central Catholic will hook it up. Obviously, we don't know where yet. It will be Wednesday evening. Could very well be right back here. Another steal. Winfrey gets it ahead to Farrell. Oh, almost the rejection, but the foul will be called on Miller. He doesn't think so. His second, and Farrell will get a pair from the line. Of course, when Uniontown and Central Catholic played in the WPIAL quarterfinals, that was at Hamer Hall on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. So we'll see if they play there Wednesday. It could very well be right back here at Ringgold. We'll see. Wherever it is, Eric, I hope it's a place with less steps. Oh, I had to run up those steps after halftime. Just made it up here in time for the second half, and I can't breathe. Need a place with an elevator next time. Carl hits 1 out of 2. The Raiders have only hit 1 out of 4 from the line here in the first minute of the third quarter. They have the lone point of the period, and they're now up by 17, their biggest lead of the day. It's 41-24, and already 2 steals by the Raiders here in this opening minute. A near steal there, and goaltending will be called on Farrell. The ball sticks up there in the rim. Miller will get credit for the bucket. Apodiakis, by the way, the leading scorer for Trinity. He has 8. 18 points in the first half for Terrence Vaughns to lead the way for the Raiders. He has been the leading scorer all the way through the postseason, all 3 WPIAL games. Misses that three-pointer, but Farrell will run it down in the corner. Second shot for the Raiders. Jacobs tried to get it to Jenkins inside. Misfires on that pass. And Uniontown looking a little sloppy to start things off here in the third period. Duncan will check back in on the next dead ball. Boy, Trinity's struggling right now as Uniontown's come out in that half-court 1-3-1 and really extending it. And Vukojevic had to bang it off of Jacobs' shin. Now Dier will take a seat as Duncan comes in. I got to tell you a story about Chris Jacobs. Saw him this week at school, and way up high in the air is Farrell. He'll be called for the foul, but the shot was never released. Weiss was unable to get the shot off, so they'll inbounds. Farrell called for his second. First team foul against the Raiders. Another near steal. Boy, Uniontown has really picked up the pressure defensively. Just when you think they can't pick it up anymore, you know, they do. Good effort there by Vukojevic. The follow is up and in, and it's a 13-point game, and the Raiders come right back. Now Duncan, nicely done inside to Farrell. The dish for Brandon Duncan, and Farrell has 9. Skip pass over to Adler. Now he gets it down on the blocks. Turnaround up and in nicely by Miller. 7 points for Ian Miller. Back to a 13-point Raider lead. Now Vaughns thought about the three, now on the drive. Lost it. Ball is stolen. Now in the game is Brandon Templeton, starting the second half. And the dish and the score by Weiss. Winfrey trying to draw the charge there, but it wasn't called. Well, let's give the Hillers some credit because there's no quit in them here this afternoon. They're down 11, but still battling hard. Now Farrell from the elbow. And Carl in double digits at 11. Strong effort this afternoon by Farrell. Alley-oop almost went in. Duncan gets it over to Winfrey. He'll get to the middle of the floor. Kick it over to Terrence Vaughns. Three ball no good from the corner. Out of bounds, Raider ball. 4:22 left here in the third period. McLeod checks back in. Farrell will take a seat with those 11 points and a nice round of applause. Back in for Trinity is Mark Kennison. Vokajevic will sit down. Raiders by 13. Now Jacobs driving in the lane. Only the second field goal of the afternoon for Jacobs. He now has 6. And now Duncan up high on the defense. And a near steal. And another near steal. And then they get the layup out of it. Miller scores. We'll give Trinity credit under intense pressure. But they stuck with it. Got a bucket out of the whole deal, and now Jacobs throws it away. I think he was expecting Vaughns to flash to the near blocks, and Terrence was going around to pick the other way. 47-34, 3:41 left. And now free inside is Weiss, and Weiss and Miller starting to get some room underneath. And boy, I was just thinking to myself, you know, Dave Shuck hasn't called a timeout yet in this game. And there it is. He's going to call a 30. Both teams have all 3 full timeouts remaining, and Uniontown also has a 30 along with that. 3:25. And now time for a spelling bee. There you go. Oh, my goodness. The young and the young at heart. Raider Nation out here in full force. By the way, off to my left here in the crowd, my good friend Al Owens. I refer often, of course, to Raider Nation, and what a great article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette last week on that Red Raider Nation website. And if you haven't seen that, boy, you got to check that out. That is an awesome website. RedRaiderNation.com. Anything you want to know, that's where you're going to find it out. Like David Winfrey getting his 3 on. Now you know things are going well now. David hit, that was a long 3 too. We don't have the NBA line, but that would have been up near it. 50-36, Raiders by 14. They've led by as much as 17. And now a steal by Jacobs. Weiss tried to hit Templeton underneath. Instead, look at that Raider transition game. And how about David Winfrey with 12 points? And he doesn't get up in double figures very often. But he just hit that 3 and a couple of fast break layups. And now a turnover for Trinity. Coach Dunn might want to think about another timeout. 2:24, and here we go. Robert Chaney talked about those Raider runs, and Dunn talked about them in the article that Rob wrote earlier this week in the Herald Standard, that you try to stay away from those runs, and you get a sense we could be in the middle of one here. Now Vaughns kicks it underneath to McLeod for the score. First field goal of the afternoon for Boo. He has 4. The Raiders have their biggest lead at 18. When I said what you want to do is put this one away early. Get it out of the way and then work on the second round. They did not put it away early. And that's out of bounds. McLee's heel was on the sideline. They did not put this away early as Trinity not only in the game for the first quarter but led after one period. But Uniontown could be on the verge. There's still time for Trinity, but you just get a sense that Uniontown may be ready to pound a few nails in that Hiller coffin right about now. Now we get the long-range 3, and that's no good by Apodiakis. Long rebound to Vaughns to trigger that Raider break, but now he'll slow it up. Now McLee on the drive. Shot doesn't go, and the rebound is pulled down by Weiss. Minute 20 left in the third period. Raiders by 18, make it 16. I got a little hasty there. I thought Miller was going to score. He didn't. But the ball was tapped up and in by Templeton. So it's a 16-point game now, 54-38. Now Winfrey up top. Duncan, look at that bounce pass to McLee. And one. Boy, Brandon Duncan has made a couple of nice interior passes here this afternoon, and that was a smooth one. That was a look-away pass and a bounce pass to boot. You like to see the youngsters make the bounce pass, which seems to be a lost art in basketball, as so many other fundamentals are these days. A nicely done bounce pass can be very effective. McLee unable to convert on the free throw, where he is now 2 for 5 from the stripe, so the lead stays at 18. Final minute. High shot is no good by Apodiakis. Now Templeton trying to pressure Winfrey in the backcourt. Duncan, there's another nice dish to Vaughns, but the shot doesn't go. Back comes Trinity, 25 seconds, plenty of time. Adler, nice bounce pass to Templeton. Can't get the shot to go. Tipped by Adler, no good, and Winfrey gets the rebound. Still plenty of time. 18 seconds left, no hurry for the Raiders. A lot of contact there, but nothing called. Now Terrence Vaughn spotting up, wide open from 3, that's no good. Tries to keep it alive, McLee and Vaughn. Ball comes to Duncan. Short jumper for Kevin, in and out. 4 seconds left. Templeton being pressured, got to fling one up. They won't get a shot off, and that's the end of the third quarter. So the Raider lead of 16 at the half is extended to 18 after 3 quarters of play. And after 3 quarters, the score is Uniontown 56, Trinity 38. 1 more mile to go. Fourth and final quarter action up next on Herald Standard Television Sports.
Who provides the best service supply for your sick or troubled copier? That answer is a slam dunk. Just call the office heroes at Best Copier Company at 439-BEST. That's 439-2378. Best Copier Company Incorporated, an affiliate of Brothers Laser Service.
Are you receiving workers' compensation? Did you know you can obtain a lump sum settlement? Call one of the hometown professionals at Davis & Davis for a free consultation. Davis & Davis, a team of professionals working for you.
8 more minutes to go for the Red Raiders to advance into the second round of the state tournament. The Western quarterfinals, if you want to look at it that way. The Sweet 16 as far as the whole state is concerned. And Central Catholic will be the opponents. At least that's the word we got at halftime. Central Catholic was playing a 12 o'clock game in another site. We got the word that they won at the buzzer over Altoona. Now Jacobs called for the foul. Only the second team foul of the Raiders on the Raiders in this half. Also the second foul against Chris Jacobs in this game. Uniontown was in a bit of foul trouble in that first half, in the second quarter in particular. Almost nothing here in this half, and now we're going to get another quick foul called on Duncan. Fans wanted the jump ball. Instead, Brandon Duncan will be called for his first foul. Chuck Durso here with you. Again, Jess Hudson unable to join us here in the state playoffs because the Clairton Lady Bears are playing the same days as the Uniontown Red Raiders. There's an air ball by Templeton on the 3. Jacobs with the rebound to Dier to Winfrey, and he'll go to the line. Foul will be called on Apodiakis. Again, girls Class A is on the same rotation. You got 8 different tournaments basically, right? 4 classes, boys and girls. Half of them play Tuesday, Friday, half play Wednesday, Saturday. Girls Class A and boys Quad A are both in the Wednesday, Saturday rotation. So as long as Clairton keeps winning, Jess will be unable to join us for these broadcasts. And so we hope, no offense, Jess, but we hope we don't see you, because we want your Lady Bears to go all the way as well. We're hoping, as Winfrey gets 1 out of 2, 19-point Raider lead, that's their largest. We're hoping, I almost don't dare to say it, we're hoping that Joho in the house joins us for the second round. Joseph Hogue, who also was unable to be with us today, but he's left a word that he may be able to join us for the second round game. Nice drive by Templeton. That's 4 for Brandon Templeton off the bench. 57-40 is the score. Again, we don't know where or when yet, although you may know by the time you're watching this, unless you're watching the Sunday night broadcast, because it probably won't be announced until Monday by the PIAA. And now Jacobs will go to the line as the foul will be called on McCune. That's his first. 15 foul on the Hillers. 7:01 left in the fourth quarter. Raiders by 17. Well, I talked about Chris Jacobs. I said I had to tell you the story. I saw him Monday in the hallways at Uniontown High School with his gold medal around his neck. Other students coming up, you know, wanting to take a look at it, hold it, touch it. Chris wanted me to pass a message along to the HSTV viewers. He said, tell you, it never left his side. It never left his neck all weekend long. Said he ate with it, said he slept with it. And the way he was holding it Monday, I'll bet he didn't take it off till right before this game. Now, are they calling this foul on Winfrey? It looked like Jacobs reached in. Apparently, he got all ball, but Winfrey on the far side, where we couldn't see him, called for the foul, and that's his third. So Miller will get a pair from the line. Yeah, Christian was he was caressing that medal. You could tell. They were good friends. He was even referring to him as he, the medal. Well, I'm even doing it now. I said him. Miller misses both. And the rebound by Farrell. And I'm sure all the rest of the team felt the same way. They've worked long and hard for those medals, and those seniors especially. Carl Farrell. 13 points for Farrell. And offensively, his best game of the postseason. Baseline jumper is short. Miller, nice pass inside to Vokajevic. He now has 10 points. 61-42. Raiders lead by 19 as we're approaching the 6-minute mark remaining. Now Brandon Duncan spots up baseline. Shot is short, but he follows his shot. That doesn't go. Third time. Lots of contact. No foul called. Out of bounds. Raiders will inbounds underneath as Miller apparently blocking that one clean. Bonds will now check back in for Duncan. Nice applause for Brandon Duncan with the hustle there. Didn't pay off on the scoreboard, but he was battling. And now we're going to get a timeout called by head coach Joe Dunn. This will be a full. Trinity still has 2 full timeouts remaining. Uniontown has 3 fulls and a 30 at their disposal. Possession arrow, by the way, is pointing in Uniontown's favor. 5:58 remaining in this one. Uniontown is in the, well, no, check that. Neither team is in the bonus. Trinity has committed 5 team fouls, Uniontown 4. So there's your game reset. As you take in some of the flavor of PIAA postseason action, Uniontown cheerleaders. A lot of folks to lead in cheering too. There's a lot of blue and gold in this gym. That's the Ringgold Rams colors. But the blue and gold is overshadowed by all the maroon. These Red Raider t-shirts with the "We're on a Mission" slogan that you first saw Calvin Winfrey hold up after the Mount Lebanon game on camera with the towel. Now suddenly they're on t-shirts all over the place. The power of HSTV. Nice inbounds play, but Terrence Vaughns couldn't get the shot to go. Good dish by Jacobs. And now Jenkins steps in on near steal. Templeton comes away with it though. Now the 3-ball, corner pocket of Podiakis. That is the second 3 of the game for Trinity. It's now 61-45. Jacobs got caught up in the air. Turnover by the Raiders. Well, Coach Shuck will not want Uniontown to get sloppy now here at the end. He won't hesitate to call timeout himself if that doesn't change. And now we get a turnover by Trinity. So Uniontown will come back down with 5:25 left and a 16-point advantage. Winner gets Central Catholic in the second round of the state tournament on Wednesday evening. And again, if you're watching our debut broadcast of this game on Sunday night, tomorrow they'll probably announce when and where. There's another block. This one by Vokajevic. The reject on Chris Jacobs' attempt inside. Trinity's had 3 or 4 blocks in this one. Now into the game for Trinity is Shane Elzer. Got a little bit of action at the beginning of the second half. Hasn't played much. Out there now. Now Uniontown will run some clock. And there was a time when Uniontown would go into this and you'd hear groans from the stands. But now you hear applause. Because the Raider fans know that when Uniontown goes into this, usually that means they're heading to the next round. Because they run this so well. And just as we say that, they turn it over. Well, they ran about 20 seconds off the clock, but it's not what Coach Shuck wanted out of that possession. Now Trinity down by 16. And they're looking for threes now. You can just tell the way they're working the ball around the perimeter. They're trying to free someone up beyond the arc. And Uniontown just extends the defense and makes it that much tougher. Now Adler's going to drive. He's going to kick it out to Elzer. Nicely done inside, and Miller with the score. 14-point game. Well, we don't want to pop the cork on this one just yet. 4:03 left. Terrence Vaughns, no. Miller with the rebound. Still time. If this 3 goes, it'll get interesting. No good. Winfrey runs it down. There's a Podiakis missing on that 3. Let's see what Uniontown does now. Do they stay in the stall, or do they look to score? Well, they're not in that weave, but they are being patient. Now Winfrey, and they'll call him for the charge as he lost a little of the patience there. Thought he saw something underneath, tried to dish it to Jacobs. Instead, David will be called for his 4th foul. Duncan now comes in, and David will take a seat. And now if they want to run that delay, they'll have to do it without Winfrey out there. 3.5 minutes and a steal. Not a wise pass there by Trinity. Sense of urgency for the Hillers, obviously down 14 and not much time left, but that was not a wise pass. And now Vaughns will be fouled up top. This will be the 6th team foul. It's going to be called on Adley, his 3rd. Now Elzer back into the game. Adler will take a seat. Uniontown will inbounds. They're now in the bonus from here on out. And Trinity will have to be fouling pretty soon. And of course, Uniontown, such a good team from the free throw line. A nice defensive play by Elzer. Can he steal it? No, foot on the sideline. Terrence Vaughns just hangs his head. Not pleased with himself there. Now Adler will check back in. Miller will come out. Joe Dunn is doing some, looks like some offensive defensive substituting here for Trinity. 3:04 remaining. 61-47. Vaughns barks out the signal. Farrell gets it underneath to Duncan. Had trouble handling the pass at first, but he stayed with it. 5 points for Brandon. And the Raiders now back up by 16. Now Apodiakis with another 3 and a quick timeout called by Trinity. 12 points for Apodiakis. And it's a 13-point game. Trinity now has 1 timeout remaining. 2:42 left, 63-50. Raiders lead it by 13. Well, give Trinity credit. This is the closest game that they've played against Uniontown this year by a long shot. Uniontown beating Trinity by 29 points in each of their regular season encounters. 79-50 in December at Uniontown, and then 61-32 in late January at Trinity. This will not be a 29-point game. Well, I guess it still could be, the way Uniontown could put up points in a hurry. Careful out there. Okay, all's well that ends well. Uniontown crowd has been a little quieter here in the second half than they were there in the second quarter when they were rocking and rolling, and a lot of that is because the second half just been kind of ho-hum. Uniontown led by 16 at the half, and it's pretty much stayed right there throughout the half. Trinity has gotten to within 11 at one point, and Uniontown was up by 21, was their largest lead, but we've been up in the mid-teens most of the way. And it's just been kind of a routine ho-hum second half, not a lot to get excited about. There's something to get excited about. Carl Farrell now with 15 points, and for a moment there was a little anticipation from Raider Nation that he was going to throw that one down. 65-50. And Carl Farrell. Well, he gets the follow anyway. Vukojevic scores, but not after he had one swatted by Farrell. Under 2 minutes now, 1:50. I'll tell you, these Raider fans have been outstanding, though. Weren't they something at the Palumbo Center? And the Newcastle crowd was, too. And there's Dier to Farrell. Doesn't go, but the follow was up and in. I mean, both schools had a huge turnout for that final game, and the Raider fans, they did themselves proud, as they have throughout the postseason. And as I mentioned already today, they have well outnumbered the Trinity faithful. The 3 is no good. Duncan with the rebound. 1:10. We're counting it down now. Uniontown by 15. And you know, wherever the second round matchup against Central Catholic is, and it could very well be right back here, maybe at California, as Terrence Vaughns will go to the line. And wherever that game is, you know the Raider fans will be outnumbering the Central Catholic contingent as well, both in terms of population and volume. If there's a better group of fans in the WPIAL, well, pardon my grammar, but I ain't seen them yet. And we got some good groups of fans from other schools in our area, too. That's to take nothing away from them, but the way these Raider fans have come out to these postseason games are something else. That's the first point of the second half for Terrence Vaughns. He's still the leading scorer for Uniontown, now with 20. Farrell right on his heels with 17. It's a 69-52 game. Now Weiss. Jacobs challenged the shot, but he'll be called for the foul. 51.9 seconds left, and we're just counting it down now. For the fourth time, Uniontown and Central Catholic will play. I mentioned at halftime, it's like the state version of a mulligan. The western half of the state tournament, because it's almost like replaying the WPIAL tournament. 10 of the 16 teams from the WPIAL. This is a rematch, not of the playoffs, but from the regular season, and now we'll get a rematch from the regular season and the playoffs, and still the chance to play Newcastle down the stretch. So Uniontown could play, of the 4 games they would need to win to get to Hershey, 3 of them could be against teams they've already played from the WPIAL. And the 4th game could be another WPIAL team with the chance of playing Kiski, perhaps, in the quarterfinals. Winfrey now goes to the line after Weiss makes 1 out of 2. It's a 16-point game with 42 seconds remaining. Big game for David Winfrey as well, as he has 13 points. That was a 1-and-1 situation, and he makes it. He has struggled from the line this afternoon. He's now 3 out of 7. In and out on the second shot. Lead is 17. Underneath, and the score by Apodiakis. 70-55. 28 seconds left, and Uniontown will just look to run out the time now. Won't even look to the basket. Farrell pulls it back out.